most welcome to my health talks. I'm Saul Joel, also known as Dr. Joel of Cramp Eye and Medical Care Services, Kalangala. I have quite an experience. Today, I want to share with you one. It is an experience of a 20-year-old sickle cell warrior whom I have been working with. She chooses to quit formal education at the age of 13. The question is, why? Like other children, she was taken to school by her parents at the age of 5 years. While in school, she had regular episodes of swelling of the joints, of painful limbs, both the lower and the upper, the back ache. However, on top of it all, she was always yellow, especially her eyes. She had a bad head, the shape of the head was bad, and this one made many children of her age to try to avoid her. They didn't want to sit with her, they didn't want to eat with her, and they didn't want to play with her. The teachers, they always looked at her as a simple but weak child, making her not even do some of the assignments that other children were doing. So she was always not involved by the teachers, because she even missed lots of school since she had regular admissions in the hospital where she was always given blood transfusion. Now, the community where this child had grown up, everyone had his own opinion. Before this child came to her time to go to school, her previous time in the village, the time before a person goes to school, she had lost 2 siblings, the elder one, and all those siblings had died of unknown reason. Though the reasons that were surroundings had some of the similarity. So the community themselves were taking this child as if he is moving under a form of witchcraft. The parents themselves, they were now looking at this child as a precious child because she was number 3 in the line, and at the same time, she is the only surviving child. So as a precious child, she was always protected, and she was looked at as if she must be protected. Now, herself, she started feeling, no, it is enough. I don't want to be with these categories. Between the age of 5 and the age of 13, she had changed the schools where she went to school more than 3 times. But whichever school she went, she felt uncomfortable. At that age of 13, the question is, why would she reach all there? Where was the problem? The problem is, even when she was taken to the hospitals and taken care of by the parents who looked at her as a precious child, none of them knew what she was suffering from. According to her, the diagnosis was made when she was 15 years. At the age of 15 years, it is now 2 years after having left school that they diagnosed that she was having sickle cell disease. When you look at the subject and see all what she was going through, that one is termed as sickle cell related stigma. Sickle cell stigma is, to me, something that I define as the unfair treatment that is subjected to an individual having sickle cell disease or a group of them, basing on their characteristics. In this case, things like yellowing of the eyes, which affects them physically, socially, and mentally, and leads to discrimination. This stigma affects individuals, and the effects can be seen when they come out with socially, they isolate themselves, they get fear, they fear of expression, they get mental disturbances, leading also to things like suicidal tendencies. And also, you realize that physically, they tend to withdraw. They don't want to take drugs. They start reducing on the form of care that they are supposed to have. So that's how they can be affected. I would like to be very clear on this, that sickle cell-related stigma can be diagnosed clinically or psychiatrically, because the stigma is more of a psychiatric issue. But again, clinically, basing on all this, basing on not taking the drugs, it can be diagnosed there, and it can be treated. Treatment of this stigma is, one, by making sure that we create room of an acknowledgement. Let individuals that are having this stigma acknowledge that there is the problem. After having acknowledged it, then they need to understand ways of tackling issues the way they come, and also to follow instructions. Now, the instructions could be medical, and in medical it could be social, it could be mental, and it could be physical. If this is not well done, we have a problem of leading these people into very difficult complications. A complication like mental disorders, whereby a subject of depression now can set in. A subject of suicidal tendencies can also set in. And a total withdrawal can also come in. Now, when there's a total withdrawal on a person who now changes and does not want to take drugs, what else? There will be death. We don't need to lose our people. We don't need to lose a single person living with sickle cell, when all what is needed to remove all this stigma is between us. Everyone can do this, because the best way to go is the multi-sectoral approach. Now, in the multi-sectoral approach, we are looking at things like all departments that are inclusive of the family, of the communities, like now a community of the school, the individual herself, and the whole society. With that, we can fight and win stigma into people living with sickle cell disease. Thank you very much.